On to you Capricorns. So you have the Queen of Swords. You Capricorns have the Seven of Cups, and then you have the Seven of Swords. So there's seven energy being put into this. So a lot of change, a lot of love, a lot of endings as well. You Capricorns are very much so prepared for whatever. There's a lot of you Capricorns are in a very powerful position. A lot of you are getting a lot of your stuff together, finances, health, mental health. You're having a lot of fun when it comes to living your life. You just don't have time for nonsense. And that fun that you started to have came from the fact that you don't have time for nonsense, right? Someone coming in, regardless of whether it's financially, romantically, whatever Lee you want to put attached to it, you don't have time for it. That wants to come into your life being dysfunctional. It's cool if a person is going to be in your life and they have some sort of value to bring, and they care about you and they want you to care about them, and they want time to go by. That's one thing, but it's another thing to where the person is doing everything that they possibly can to make themselves an enemy, get you upset, constantly get you on your nerves. That's a whole other thing, right? If a person is going to do that, they don't need to be in your life. The Seven of Cups, the Seven of Swords, yeah, they don't need to be in your life. The attitude that they have all these people that is around them and things are going so great, good, then let things go great independently. Then let things go great independently from you. They don't have to go great in front of you. You know what I mean? Sometimes people will play that type of nonsense too. Things are going so great. Okay, things are going so great. Then get out of here and let things go great over there for you when I'm not looking. I don't care if things are going great in front of my face. Have things go great behind my back for you. So now you have the Ace of Wands and the Tower for you Capricorns. And you have too much value to bring to the table. You have too much value in the first place. So because you have a lot of value anyway, you don't have to spend a lot of your time trying to tell somebody about the value that you're going to bring. If they want to act like they don't have any kind of common sense, it is what it is. But what is already understood doesn't have to essentially be sold to like that. It basically practically sells itself. A person who doesn't necessarily know what's going on and hasn't educated themselves, they have to be put on a little bit, right? But after that, them being put on and the knowledge being put to them, it's expected that they start making moves that, like they have some form of common sense. And you Capricorns, like I've been saying, you're carrying yourselves with respect. You don't have to be around trying to tell anybody that why you deserve respect. Capricorn deserves respect because, number one, you're alive. And just a healthy respect for anyone and anything that is alive in that sense should do, right? But also, you deserve respect because you've been through a lot. And when you Capricorns you've been through a lot and you're successful, and then now you want to basically give somebody some information, especially if the information is true, but you're doing it from the sincerity of your heart, it would be in a person's best interest for them to, at the very minimum, listen and consider what it is that you Capricorns have to say. A person would very much so be at a disadvantage if they don't, at the very minimum, consider what it is that you Capricorns have to say. The reason why I'm saying that is because you Capricorns would have at this point developed enough wisdom at whatever age you happen to be, enough to be able to know what works and what doesn't, because you've been through so much, people trying to play you for your money, all types of goofy stuff, to the point where you Capricorns would have known this doesn't work, this, is them trying to play with you, this is real. You know what I mean? This is one thing that's real, because you Capricorns have tried it. You Capricorns have experienced it. You've done it. You've been there. And so to be in a relationship with you, especially when you have done the internal work yourselves, is a very amazing thing. So a lot of you don't have to sell yourselves. You don't have to like put yourself out there in a sense of like go above and beyond, because you do have to put yourself out here, but you don't have to put yourself out here from the perspective of you're going above and beyond to let another person know why you're valuable in the first place, right? You know, trying to tell somebody why it would behoove them to be in a relationship with you is not needed. I'm not going to say it's desperate. It's not needed, because sometimes, and I've talked about this before, sometimes you're just speaking to an idiot. You know, like a lot of people, especially nowadays, the way that they date, truth be told, is based upon stupidity. You know, so the Five of Pentacles is now about how if you see anybody where you're giving them attention, they cringe up, which you're done doing, then you know it's time for you to step off. You know, a person has to accept the love. They have to accept it. They have to bring something to the table themselves. But then that's a 50-50 relationship. So, you know, we don't want to start talking about those, you know, because then people are going to be upset, even though 50-50 relationships are the only type of relationship that works. You know, because if you study parasitic, if you study the different types of relationships and the different types of personalities, you have the avoidant, you have, you know what I'm saying, you have the avoidant type of relationships. Basically, you have people that know how to exist within themselves, and they don't need to be stuck up underneath each other 24 hours, literally 24 hours, where they can't do anything without the other partner. And there's different types of relationships. And the one that I'm referring to, and I've talked about this in the past, right, is the independent relationship, where both of them are interdependent, right? They both can exist and do quite well on their own, but they're choosing to come together. And it's not a relationship of convenience where it's money that is the deciding factor on why they got together, right? That is a codependent relationship. Codependency is a relationship type that is most used in some shape, form, or fashion, is codependency, right? You know, one person is being or sadomasochistic, where one person has to put on like they are so independent while the other person gets treated like trash. These types of relationships, when I talk about 50-50 and lack thereof, this type of sadomasochistic relationship or codependent relationship are the type of relationships that I am striving here on this channel to essentially get away from. So why that's important for you Capricorns is because if this is what it is that you want, stay away from anybody that essentially can't handle love, can't give it. Is not striving to have dreams of their own, right? Is not striving to go after their own dreams. Stay away from people like that. The Ten of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, you know, and essentially be with someone that is an active member in their own relationship. You know, they don't just sit and just be innocent, just do nothing bystanders in their own relationships. They actually seek to do good things for other people. You know, this is proactive, this is interactive, you know, so, and you know, because that will let you know who is for you, you know. So I grew up already thinking that a relationship, a healthy relationship, is a relationship where two people are actively seeking to provide value to the other person as well as themselves, because they want to, and it's not forced. It's not forced. It's not negotiated. It's not where a person has to like put a time out on the relationship real quick to address something, where it's like, okay, what are you going to do for me? It's something that is supposed to happen, but it's only up until I reached like teenage years and beyond, up until this point, is when I started to see like, wow, human beings take advantage of each other, and it's like they can't stop, can they? They won't stop. They need to take advantage of one another, and it's sad because it's like it really doesn't have to be this way. So let's clarify the Ten of Wands. Strength, the Nine of Swords, the Magician, the Ace of Wands, and the Six of Cups. That's my point. You had someone that tried to give you an ultimatum. It didn't work. You stopped talking to them more than a week ago. This is probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago since you talked to them. They understand, because you have the Six of Cups. They understand now that you Capricorns are not coming back, and so now you find out that they was essentially just playing. They expected you Capricorns to essentially cave up underneath the fact that if you don't deal with their demands and their dysfunctions, then you Capricorns will be by yourselves. The only problem that they're having is you Capricorns don't mind being by yourselves, because there's little to nothing, or there's not a lot of things that you've done in your life that you Capricorns feel disappointed in, and there are some things, but you Capricorns are learning to actually forgive yourself for it, because you're doing the internal work. So the point that I'm trying to make here is the excessive baggage that they are counting on for you to have, so that they could take advantage of you, isn't working. That's why they goofy behinds had to come back, the exes, or potential long-term romantic interest, because now they were just playing, right? They were just playing. So what you Capricorns got to do with that is you got to continue to leave them in the dust. They played themselves, and now they'll have to deal with the consequences. So that's it. Peace.